Let's continue the topic about the Citrus maxima, or we also know pomelo or shaddock. Chapter 8, Plant and Soil Nutrient Management of Citrus maxima. Proper plant and soil nutrient management is crucial for maintaining the health and productivity of Citrus maxima. We have the managing the nutritional requirements of Citrus maxima. We have macronutrients, micronutrients, and soil pH. Sa micronutrients ay requires adequate levels of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Ito ay tumutulong sa growth and fruit production natin. Then next naman yung mga micronutrients. We have the calcium, magnesium, sulfur, iron, boron, and other micronutrients na nakakatulong or kailangan ng plant natin para sa kanilang health. Then yung soil pH naman, kailangan ng Citrus maxima or pomelo ng slightly acidic yung soil with pH between 5.5 and 6.5 efficient nutrient levels. Next naman yung determining soil fertility status of Citrus maxima. We have the soil testing na kailangan natin to or regular natin na mag-soil testing para ma-identify natin yung kakulungan ng nutrients sa lupa. Then, nutrients analysis. Ayun. Para din malaman natin yung acidity ng ating lupa. Then, customized fertilization. Kailangan to para yung tatlo na to, yung soil testing, nutrient analysis, then yung sa customized fertilization naman, nakabase sa dalawang nauna yung ilalagay natin nutrients sa ating Citrus maxima para mapunan yung nutrients na need ng pomelo natin. Then dun sa soil analysis for Citrus maxima naman, we have the texture and structure, organic matter content, nutrient levels, and yung soil pH ulit. Sa texture and structure, prepare ng Citrus maxima yung well-drained or yung sandy loam soil. Para yon sa good aeration and water holding capacity. Then sa organic matter content naman, kailangan natin ma-maintain yung healthy level of organic matter para makatulong ma-improve yung nutrient availability and soil structure ng ating lupa. Then, nutrient levels naman, ito yung pag-analyze natin ng mga micro or macronutrients na nasa lupa natin para mabalance yung paglalagay natin ng fertilizer. Then, alam naman natin yung soil pH. Next na tayo. Sa plant tissue analysis for Citrus maxima naman, we have leaf analysis, fruit analysis, and yung root analysis. Sa leaf analysis dito, ina-analyze natin yung leaf natin kung kulang ba siya sa nutrient sa lupa. Kasi nakabase yung leaf na yun kung may sakit or wala. Then, para ma-provide din natin kung anong kailangan natin nutrients na i-intake natin dun sa trees natin. Then, sa fruit analysis naman, kailangan natin ma-monitor yung fruit natin for nutrient levels para ma-identify natin or makakatulong to na ma-identify kung balance ba yung pamumunga ng ating mga pomelo. Then, sa root analysis naman, kailangan natin ma-examine yun para kung may issue dun sa lupa na ini-intake natin. Kasi, kung maglalagay tayo ng madaming fertilizer, pwedeng makasira yun sa root system natin. Next ay yung crop nutrient removal of Citrus maxima. We have 3, yung fruit harvest, leaf litter, and yung pruning waste. Sa fruit harvest dito, ah nire-remove natin yung ibang bunga para ma-enlarge yung ibang bunga ng Citrus maxima, para mapunan yung ibang mga bunga. Then sa leaf litters naman, kailangan natin irregular yung pag-shedding ng leaves para um, para sa nutrient depletion if not properly managed. Kung hindi natin na ma-manage yun. Then pruning waste, kailangan natin maalis yung mga dead or disease na mga branches para hindi na dumami yung hindi maapektuhan yung katabi nitong mga branches. Hindi rin siya makapinsala sa ating halaman or puno. Applying fertilizer for Citrus maxima. Soil application, pwede dito yung broadcasting or yung banding fertilizer. Kasi ito yung common na ginagamit sa orchard ng mga Citrus maxima. Next naman yung foliar spray naman natin. Kailangan lang to para ma-address yung or para mapunan yung mga disease sa leaf natin or yung kung nakita natin yung leaf natin na kulang sa nutrients, pag nag-apply ka ng foliar spray, mapupunan yun ng in-spray natin na fertilizer. Then dito naman alam ko yung fertigation is sa water management siya kasi yung fertilizer is nilalagay doon sa tubig, yung parang pinapaagos niya, palad siya ng pagdidilig. Next natin, yung common visual deficiency naman na symptoms na nakikita natin sa Citrus maxima. Pag kulang sa nitrogen, makita natin na nag-yellow yung mga leaves tapos nagiging stunted yung growth. Pag kulang naman sa phosphorus, nagiging purplish red naman or nagdi-discoloration yung leaves, then poor fruit quality. Then kung sa potassium naman, leaf margins turning yellow or brown, premature fruit drops, nag-uulog daw yung maliliit na bunga. Then yung magnesium, intervenal chlorosis, yung nag-yellow nga yung mga dahon. Then dumako naman tayo sa chapter 9 na may title na Water Management sa Citrus maxima. Yung water management is crucial for the health and productivity of these trees, ensuring they receive the right amount of moisture throughout the year. Factors affecting water needs. We have 3, yung climate, yung soil type, and yung 3H or yung size. Sa climate, yung temperature, rainfall, and humidity level significantly impact yung water requirements ng ating Citrus maxima. Kung mas mainit sa lugar or yung tuyot, yung climate, ini-increase natin yung water needs ng halaman or yung puno. Sa soil type naman, kailangan ng moisture holding capacity effects of how often the trees need to be watered. Kaya maganda sa ating Citrus maxima yung sandy loams soil. Then sa 3H naman and size, older, larger Citrus maxima trees have more extensive root, mas malawak daw yung roots niya, mas malaki yung sakop sa lupa, and mas madaming tubig yung kailangan compared dun sa maliliit na puno. Then sa irrigation method naman ng Citrus maxima or pomelo, we have 3 na na-search ko. The drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, and yung flood irrigation. Yung drip irrigation delivers water directly to the root zone, reducing evaporation and runoffs. Then yung sprinkler irrigation naman, mimics natural rainfall but can be less efficient in hot windy condition. And yung flood irrigation naman, inexpensive but can lead to waterways and soil erosion if not managed properly. Pwede daw na natin mga manage ng tama yung flood irrigation, magkakaroon ng soil erosion doon kasi nga flood irrigation tong gamit natin na water management. Next naman ay chapter 10 na, yung regulating, flowering, and fruiting of Citrus maxima. Juvenility, juvenile stage. Citrus maxima trees go through a juvenile stage where they do not produce flower or fruits. Then, pangalawa, yung transitioning to maturity. The tree matures, hormonal and physiological changes allow it to transition from the juvenile to the reproductive stage. And yung last is the environmental factors. Factors like temperature, light exposure, and soil nutrient can influence the length of the juvenile period. And ito yung pictures. Next is yung pollination. We have yung tree na search ko, yung pwede siya mag self-pollination. Citrus maxima flowers are self-fertile, meaning they can pollinate themselves. Kaya niya mag-pollinate ng sarili lang niya. Then we have the cross-pollination. Alam naman natin yung mga pollinators natin na mga insects like bees can facilitate cross-pollination between different citrus varieties. Then, pwede din tayong gumamit ng manual pollination. Growers may also manually pollinate flowers to ensure adequate fruit set. Next naman is yung fruit sets and retention. Irrigation, kailangan natin ng proper water. Management can improve fruit set and size. Kailangan natin ng magandang pagpapatubig sa ating Citrus maxima. And then yung nutrition, balanced application of essential nutrients support fruit development. Ayun nga, kailangan natin yung tamang paglalagay ng nutrient or yung fertilizer sa lupa. Then yung pruning, selective pruning can redirect resources to fewer larger fruits. Ayun, pwede tayong mag-pruning, yung magtanggal tayo ng sanga, ganyan, or magtanggal tayo ng ibang bunga para ma-enlarge yung fruit set ng ating Citrus maxima. And yung thinning, manually removing some fruits para ma-increase yung size ng mga natitirang mga Citrus maxima fruits. Then chapter 11, we have the application of crop protection principles. Pests and diseases affecting Citrus maxima. Meron ako nahanap na 4. Yung una dito, yung citrus greening disease. A devastating bacterial infection that stunts tree growth and reduces fruit quality. Ay, that na-stunt daw yung growth ng ating mga citrus fruit, or yung sabihin natin tong Citrus maxima, and hindi maganda yung quality ng ating fruit. Then, pangalawa naman yung citrus canker. A contagious bacterial disease that can causes lesion on leaf, stem, and fruit. Ayan, bacterial disease siya. Then, yung citrus leaf miner naman, a moth larva that tunnels through citrus leaves, weakening the plant. Then, yung pang-apat is yung citrus mealybug, an insect pest that sucks up from citrus trees, leading to reduced vigor and yield. Ayun, nakapag-reduce daw siya ng yield kasi nga sinisip-sip niya yung mga vigor dun sa ating Citrus maxima. Then, ito yung mga pictures ng mga disease and pests. Ayan. Then, dito naman tayo sa crop protection principle and approaches, yung exclusion, resistance, eradication, and therapy. Sa exclusion, prevent the introduction of inoculum. Sa eradication naman, eliminate, destroy, or inactivate the inoculum and Sa resistance naman, utilize cultivars that are resistant to or tolerant of infection. And yung pang-apat, yung therapy, cure plants that are already infected. Ayun. Next naman, yung chapter 12 na, yung pruning. Methods of objectives of pruning. Pruning objectives in citrus, uh, control of tree development and shape, nag-i-increase ng fruit quality and size, na, yung pests and diseases na control, yung production cost reduction, and yung alternate bearing management. Other form of pruning, may nakita akong tatlo, yung general maintenance pruning, canopy thinning, and yung pruning to mitigate alternate bearing. Dito, yung general maintenance pruning, nai-remove niya yung discolored, damaged, or dead wood from trees as necessary throughout the year. Remove crossing branches or branches that shade out lower branches. Ayun. Magtatanggal ka lang daw ng branches para yung branches sa baba para hindi or sa taas para hindi matakpan yung branches doon sa baba para makasagap din ng sunlight. Then yung canopy thinning naman, fruit needs sunlight to develop flavors and sugar. Kaya yung canopy thinning, kailangan natin tagalan ng uh, mga leaves yung ating puno para sa pag-develop ng flavors and sugar ng ating Citrus maxima. Dense canopies may not allow enough sunlight to reach fruit, so thinning is needed every few years. A good judge of canopy density is whether or not you can see dappled sunlight on the ground beneath the tree of midday. Thinning out center branches before they get too large can increase fruiting wood in the center of the tree. To facilitate thinning, divide trees into quadrants based on the scaffold or primary branch structure. Assess what will be best in each quadrant, and then prune one section at a time. Then sa pruning to mitigate alternate bearing naman, alternate bearing is the phenomenon where a tree carries a very heavy crop load 1 year and then a very light crop the next. In heavy years, the tree's resources are depleted and it produces less new growth and is unable to set as much fruit the next year, giving only a minimal yield. Pruning can mitigate alternate bearing to a degree. This should be heavily pruned after a light crop year to reduce bearing wood and potential fruit load. Major branch pruning as well as canopy thinning should occur at this time. Pruning heavily after a light year allows the tree to replenish its reserves and move to a more balanced bearing habit. Then sa chapter 30 naman, harvesting and handling of crops. Sa maturity indices, we have the color, weight, and texture. Sa color, mature pomelos have a pale yellow or greenish yellow rind color. Pag maturity na yung ating pomelos, then sa weight naman, ripe fruits are heavy. At dun sa una ko report, di ba, sabi ko dun is umaabot ng 10 kilos sa ibang bansa yung pomelos. Dito sa Pilipinas is 3 kilos. Ripe fruits are heavily for their size and have a thick, firm rind. Sa texture naman niya, the skin should be smooth and free of blemishes. Yung wala kang makikita ng blemishes sa fruit niya. Then, time of harvesting. Sa peak season, pomelos in the Philippines are typically harvested from November to February during the dry season. Pag off-season naman, smaller quantities may also be available during the wet season from June to September. And sa ripeness naman niya, fruit should be harvested when fully matured, indicated by their size, weight, and color. Then sa harvesting method, meron akong tatlo dito, yung careful picking, sharp tools, and protective gear. Sa careful picking, fruit should be gently plucked from the tree, avoiding any damage to the rind. Then sa number 2 naman yung sharp tools. use clean, sharp pruning, shears or knives to cut the fruit stem. Sa pangatlo naman, yung protective gear, harvested should wear gloves to protect their hands and prevent bruising. Then sa proper handling naman niya, sorting, cleaning, and packaging. Sa sorting, carefully sort the harvested fruit, separating damaged or overripe ones. Sa cleaning naman, wash the fruits with clean water to remove any dirt or debris. Sa packaging, pack the pomelos in sturdy, well-ventilated containers to prevent bruising during transport. Sa chapter 14 naman, primary processing of crops, we have yung 6 na processing, the harvesting, the cleaning and sorting, waxing, packaging, and yung storage. Then yung importance naman ng primary processing in pomelo production lies in, meron tayo ditong quality preservation, food safety, shelf life extension, and yung marketability. Then yung last, ito yung sa picture, makita natin yung citrus orchard. Pag na-harvest, pag na-process siya, pwede siyang magkakaroon siya ng waste materials from citrus processing industry, enzyme technology, then the value added dependent products, ayun na yun, yung dulo. Magkakaroon tayo ng mga different products galing sa citrus orchards natin. And ayun lang, that's all. Thank you po.